Welcome surprises are common from the indie scene, Nightmare of Decay being one of them, a first-person horror that draws inspiration from the first Resident Evil, among others, and that is not only good, but with extras that'll keep you coming back. The price is a steal for the experience on offer. Taking place in a nightmare, we awaken from a coffin in the yard of a mansion. With the recreation of an iconic scene, it sets the stage for what's to come. This is classic survival horror, where a lack of health and ammo has you proceed methodically through a room of zombies, while key hunting and puzzle solving. It's a genre that can seem daunting for those new to it until, like the actual survival instinct, they adapt. That's when things cease to be looked at from the lens of lacking but efficiency, but the only health you need is the amount to absorb a hit, and when new terrors surface, your conservative play allows you to respond in kind. I've always enjoyed the rhythm, and Nightmare of Decay succeeds in adapting it to first person. In terms of combat, it reminds me of Resident Evil 7, where the reticle focuses the longer you aim down sight for a higher crit chance, and where its running speed there can feel like the walking speed here. You can run freely throughout the mansion, that is until enemies are in the mist, a stamina bar surfacing. It depletes fast, and if fully will put you in an exhausted state that can feel like you're mired in mud. If it sounds like it could be annoying or put you in harm's way, yes, on both counts. But one can understand it is to keep with tension and the survival horror tone. Zombie behavior is mostly predictable though, with random stops and turns to keep you on your toes, while others, like cultists, fire off guns from concealed locations. At the start of the nightmare, you'll find a knife and handgun that will be your workhorses as you make your way up the weapon ladder. It is worth noting that normal does have less zombies in areas than hard, so if you're one like me that enjoys expressing their survivability through melee, one is more open to opportunity. But no matter how you opt to play, the game succeeds in capturing the fun of the genre. There is a story thread to follow from the notes about the owners of the mansion, but not why we and others are trapped in such a place. As you happen upon them from exploration, there is a need for key hunting and puzzle solving. Good survival horror walks a tenuous line of making the process of bringing A to B intriguing and fun, in the way a good Metroidvania doesn't make backtracking tedious. In the process of looking for items, getting familiar with an area, you begin to make connections that when two tied together, bam, you know exactly where to go and are excited to where it'll take you. This game delivers that feeling in spades. There isn't much complexity to puzzles, which is okay to me, but being able to save as many times as you want without an item, it does detract from the tension. At the very least, horror should have it limited like Resident Evil 2 Remake did. The fun of limited saves for me is the sense of mastery from chunking sequences together. It's interesting that there are 2 Steam achievements for not saving at all though, others being beating the game without healing, without running, and completing it within an hour. The final one gives you the full picture to the size of the main game. This is the end screen from my first playthrough on hard, and my second on normal. The scale is kept small but never unsatisfying. For those thinking that's all the game has to offer, it couldn't be further from the truth. Upon beating the game on either difficulty, you unlock a randomizer for the main game, in addition to a dungeon crawler and horde mode. These are hell yeah inclusions. The randomizer applies to either normal or hard, bringing about remixes that took me way off guard. The hard mode here feels like the definitive one. It's a must play. The dungeon crawler mode has you ascend past 10 procedurally generated floors, with ample handgun ammo to be found, at least with my RNG, accruing points for weapons and heals, like for this. There are times when you can feel unkillable, with excess points and ammo only to see it plummet later on. Zombies begin to move faster, new enemies and bosses get introduced. When resources are exhausted, you hope you don't mess it up like I did on floor 7. Endless mode follows suit in that you gain points that can be redeemed for items, but the pace of the first few rounds can feel glacial, and zombies move, well, like zombies. Around round 4 things pick up pace. They begin to move faster and feel like they'll never stop flooding in. Throw wildcards like dogs, spiders, or cultists to the mix, especially for the good run going, it becomes fun. The furthest I got was round 10, and I was ecstatic during it. I was nearly done with the wave too when a wildcard enemy gets thrown in. I had an OP item in hand, but in trying to get distance to use it, his chainsaw connects. But didn't just hit, it chained. I can't articulate how demoralizing it was, the disbelief. If you're pondering why round 10, a rocket launcher gets unlocked for the main game, and beating the dungeon escape a submachine gun for it. Who doesn't like to overkill? For the price of $5 US, you receive a wealth of content. Even if all you're concerned with is the main game, the execution here is masterful. This feels like a true representation of what a first-person Resident Evil 1 could be. The cons I've listed, which I define as minor, can undermine an experience I hope Nightmare of Decay would provide. Good. Although you can see clear influences, I'd argue it approaches them in such a way that it forges its own identity, a game that could stand on its own. I do hope they make a sequel. There's definitely enough intrigue for Nightmare of Decay 2. Thanks for watching. This game literally came as a surprise from a post I saw on Reddit. From the graphics alone, I was sold, even before seeing gameplay. But anyway, if you enjoyed the video, please strike the like button. If you have any thoughts, please leave a comment, or if you found potential in me and what I can produce, please subscribe. Once more, thank you all, and have a good one.